It's a quick little video just to show the difference in size between the SIG 250/320, it's the same frame, same basic shape, and the Glock 19. People will tell you that the compact 320-250 is the same size as the 19, and while that is true in terms of barrel length and some other basic specs, when you actually work it out and compare the side by side, they are the SIG is considerably larger feeling, and it is larger in other dimensions. The 19, as much as some people don't like Glocks and that kind of stuff, it is generally a sort of benchmark standard in terms of carry gun that's relatively small and holds decent amount of rounds and has good accuracy. So as you can see, putting them side by side, you can already see how the snout of the 250/320 is dramatically larger. It just has significantly more bulk to it. It's kind of hard not to notice how much larger it is. And then if you look at where your hand would be, just lining up the top of the tangs, there's just significantly more gun above your hand, and you'll see that the grips are essentially the same length. But there's just so much more gun on the 250 in this case. The overall, just the thickness of the action just between here, the top of the slide, and essentially where your the opening of the trigger guard is just also significantly larger. It just makes for more bulk. If you're carrying outside the waistband, none of this matters, but if you ever want to carry one of these guns inside the waistband, that much extra bulk means that there's that much extra volume you got to stuff in your waistband, so you're going to have to buy, good size larger pants in order to accommodate that. As far as the grip itself, you get about the same amount of grip on the two guns, so you fit the same amount of hand on there. On the SIG, you get 3 fingers solidly, with the last one kind of touching the lip of the magazine. On the Glock, you get them the same thing, but the magazine hangs down a little lower. So your hand comes up higher on the overall gun, again, because there's not as much thickness up here to push the whole thing down. So if I was going to carry one of these guns in a waistband, it would definitely be the 19. I kind of see, as an aside, I'm one of the freaks who likes the 250. I'm not really that big a fan of the 320. I would carry the 250 outside the waistband. And quite frankly, I see it as a pretty good car, truck, or house gun, because if I don't have to worry about how big the thing is, then it's a fine gun. I like the fact that it's got the hammer, so if you're holstering it, you can hold the hammer back. You can hold the hammer if anything catches the trigger. The trigger pull on this thing is really nice. I'm kind of a weirdo. I do like double action. This one's maybe a little longer than I would otherwise like, but I like double action trigger. This is about 7.5 pounds and smooth all the way through. I mean, there's not a single hitch in it. I've modified my Glock with a Apex trigger, and I have a Ghost 3.5 edge connector in there, and then all along with the New York 1 trigger spring, that gives this gun about a 6-pound light, very very smooth. There's no take up. Like there's just a little blade. You come right back, and then it just squishes all the way back through. It doesn't have a wall or anything, so you just have like what essentially feels like a very light double action pull. So the two of them are, it's going to serve both different roles, even though they both are essentially kind of the same size. But I would recommend the Glock if you want something as a general all-around carry gun.